What's the last thing anyone expected to see in the first episode of She-Hulk? How about busted tech from MCU Phase 2? Here's the history behind the surprising Memento. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has thrilled audiences on the big and small screen for more than a decade, and in all that time, there's only been one in-universe version of the Hulk. Bruce Banner was originally played by Edward Norton in The Incredible Hulk before Mark Ruffalo came aboard for The Avengers, but it's the same character in the MCU. However, the hero has been joined by a brand new Jade Giant, Jennifer Walters, also known as She-Hulk. Played by Tatiana Maslany of Orphan Black fame. Jen gets her powers from Bruce's blood when they get into a car accident due to a Sicarian ship showing up out of nowhere, a seeming nod to the World War Hulk comics. The series kicks things off by establishing a fun dynamic between the two cousins, as Professor Hulk tries to teach Jen everything there is to know about being a Hulk. Speaking to Access Hollywood in February, Ruffalo had high praise for Maslany.
Freaking legendary as the She-Hulk. I'm passing the banner onto her.
Ruffalo added, "There are some really good, funny, cool, long scenes between Professor and her. We've never really seen the Hulk interact with people the way he does in that show. It'll be really interesting." Bruce and Jen spend plenty of time in the isolated Mexican laboratory where the scientist learned to merge his two selves in the time between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. But when Walters is wandering around the building, she finds a bittersweet Iron Man memento that has us all in our feelings. Here's why it's so familiar. Although She-Hulk is obviously about Jennifer Walters and how she balances her legal career alongside her burgeoning responsibilities as a superhero, the show also takes the opportunity to look at Bruce Banner a little more closely. Episode 1 reveals that Bruce spent a lot of time with Tony Stark in the 5-year blip gap after Avengers Infinity War because the billionaire playboy philanthropist funded his laboratory. They even built a beachside bar together to have some fun, even in a traumatic time. But Bruce seems to have done more of the work than his pal.
Well, Tony mostly drank, just sat around complaining about Steve.
When Jen is wandering through the house, she finds a ruined Iron Man helmet that Bruce is clearly keeping to remember his fallen friend. It seems like the black and gold helmet could be from a Mark XX Python suit, which briefly shows up with several other suits at the end of Iron Man 3. Fans will remember that Bruce briefly appears in the post-credits scene of the 2013 movie, nodding off while listening to Tony ramble on. But the Mark XX suit blows up on Tony's orders after the final big battle in Iron Man 3, so it's way more likely that the memento is actually an Iron Legion droid head from the Avengers Age of Ultron era. These unwearable suits were ultimately used against the Avengers when Ultron, who was developed with Bruce's help, took control of them. This little memento reminds us that Tony and Bruce had a real friendship that thrived outside of saving the world. When the two first meet in The Avengers, Tony tells Bruce that he's a big fan of his, especially when he grows into an enormous green rage monster. Over the years, we see them connect and grow as friends, working on projects and driving around in supercars together. Using a small part of She-Hulk Attorney at Law to look a little closer at Hulk's character arc is a clever move from Marvel. After all, the giant hero hasn't had his own solo movie since 2008, since the distribution rights for the character are at Universal. So any MCU Hulk action is a welcome turn of events, even on the small screen.